likes to support OFWs, and of course, is it 9% of the gross domestic product of the Philippines is made up by overseas remittances. So I guess the Filipino OFWs are really the future of the Philippines, and they need to be protected. And what my family found when they tried to go abroad is that it's very, very difficult. It's a very difficult process to leave the Philippines. You have to submit so many requirements, go to so many offices. The Philippine passport was only valid for 5 years, and of course President Duterte increased it to 10 years. He made a one-stop shop for OFWs, which is fantastic. And also in the past, you know, whenever somebody like a politician or when the previous president was going to the airport, they would almost shut the airport down for him, and he had like all the roads blocked and everything else. But Duterte's a humble man, you know. He just said, carry on, just I'll queue up with everybody else, so I join the queue with everybody else. And I think that's the thing. What I've seen from him is he's a humble man, but also he speaks from the heart. So actually, he gets passionate and he speaks from the heart. And he's a man who you can see has got the heart for the Philippine people. As he said, he's not interested in all these other things or these politicians. What he's interested in is the man on the street, the man kind of, I guess, kind of near Pasig or whatever, and the man that basically needs help. And you can see that he generally loves the people in the country, and that's so, so important. You know, there's a massive divide between rich and poor in the Philippines. On one side of the road you have these multi-million-pound apartments, and on the other side of the road you have the children begging. You know, so one of my friends told me that they went to the Philippines recently. They're a British guy, and they went across the road and they saw these kids begging at 4 o'clock in the morning. How can that be right that little children were begging at 4 o'clock in the morning? But you know what Duterte did? He put a curfew. So that the drug, if you like, the drug kind of syndicates couldn't use children as a way of begging, and that was the problem. So you had kids staying up late at night, you had kids going into crime, and it was all a way of making money to fund drugs. And Duterte stopped that. So I do believe that he was brilliant in his initiative in order to keep kids off the street at night, because they need to be concentrating on their education and not financing drugs that their parents may be taking. So it's a fantastic initiative. What I have to say is that I believe passionately now in what President Duterte is doing for the Philippines. I think he's an amazing man, a very humble man. Remember the time after the Davao bombings, he was there hugging somebody, letting somebody kiss him. You know, with previous presidents, you couldn't get anywhere near them. There were so many bodyguards, if you like, but yet he's a man who basically would stand there and speak to the people and actually offer his support and help. You know, there's a massive divide between, as I said, a massive divide between rich and poor in the Philippines. And some people can't even afford medical treatment. They can't afford hospital treatment. And yet you have ex-Philippine leaders who are in hospitals paid for by the government and in hotels paid for by the government. And how can it be right that small children can't even afford medical treatment, and yet if you're a president or if you're a mayor or somebody, you get all this treatment paid for by the government? I think that everyone in the Philippines needs the basic resources, like health, like accommodation. Another fantastic initiative of President Duterte is this 888 system, 8888 system, which is like the 999 system we have in the UK. As you can see from Davao, it was working fantastically well. You know, a lot of people go into the Philippines with no experience at all and run for office. But Duterte was the mayor of Davao for a very long time. And since then, he made a lot of improvements in Davao. So many people would message me to say the fantastic work that he's been doing in Davao in creating an emergency services. And of course now he's trying to repeat that throughout the Philippines, which is absolutely fantastic and truly commendable. There's also some other things I wanted to say as well, and that it's fantastic to see so many of you here supporting your president. You know, in my previous history of working with the Filipino community for about 20 years, I haven't seen this level of support. Is it 91% of the Philippine people support Duterte and his actions? You know, it's kind of funny because so many Filipinos have said to me they want to go back home. You know, I've known OFWs who've been here for 20 years. and they've only been home once or twice. And whenever they go back home, they know they're going to get hassles. They know they're going to get hassle at the airport with, if it not the planting of bullets or anything else, you know. But I think that's all going to come to an end now, because Duterte is a strong leader, and people are scared, you know. And the thing about the drug addicts in the Philippines is whenever you've got poverty, you've got people who are desperate, people who will be taking drugs. And Duterte wants to combat that. And look, all the drug addicts have surrendered, you know, that's a fantastic thing. Now they're going to get rehabilitation, they're going to get treated. And I got a message from somebody whose family was affected by drugs. This lady's brother was a drug addict, and previously he was very withdrawn. He was scared that the family was scared that he was going to get stabbed. And yet under Duterte now, he stopped taking drugs, and he has a clean bill of health. And he's friendly, he spends time with his family, he spends time with his kids. So what I can say is, I know that through Duterte, the Philippines is going to become a better place. But what we all need to do is support in that. We all need to basically not be afraid to speak out. There is one thing I would say, that previously, when I wrote this letter that wasn't that supportive of Duterte, I got a lot of criticism. I even got death threats. I got a lot of people sending me rude messages and swearing. And I think some of the supporters have said that themselves, that you can argue, you can make your point without the need for some people to get very aggressive and swear. It only makes us look like we haven't got anything constructive to say. And what I would say is, we need to fight this with our actions. We don't need to fight it by swearing at every single criticiser of Duterte. We need to fight it by these rallies and by the stands, to stand up for the Philippines and stand up for the President of the Philippines. Do you know what? It's honestly been amazing to be here today, you know. I didn't think I would ever be at a rally, if you like, kind of speaking in favour of President Duterte. But what I can see is he's a man who speaks from the heart, you know. And already, look, now the Philippines is going to be chair of the ASEAN Summit next year, which is fantastic, you know. And this issue with Obama, there was a lot of talk to say that Duterte was swearing at Obama. I wasn't going to listen to that until I actually watched it on YouTube myself, until I analysed it. And as I said earlier on, Duterte is a man who speaks from the heart. He's a passionate man. And I've heard some of his other speeches, and within some of his speeches, he will say the famous swear word, if you like. But it's not directed at President Obama. It's directed basically just at his anger on what's happening in the Philippines, what's happening with corruption, what's happening with crime in the Philippines. And he's a man who wants to change that, so he's a man who speaks from the heart. And I'm very pleased to see that Obama's already said, you know, it's just colourful language, that's the way the man speaks, it's nothing personal. So he's winning over leaders from around the world. You only have to look at what happened when he went to Indonesia. He got a fantastic response, a fantastic outpouring. I've never seen a president being welcomed that way. So you know, it's fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody, for the invite. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you very much for your love of the Philippines, you know. The Philippines is close to my heart, and the Philippine people are close to my heart. Maraming salamat po, and mabuhay President Duterte, mabuhay Filipinos, maraming salamat po.
Thank you.
Pati yung mga yung mga tao na nadadamay, namamatay, walang kalaban-laban, di ba? Ano kasalanan ng mga tao na to? Ano kasalanan nila? 14 na buhay, 14 na buhay na wala. Ganun-ganun na lang. Bakit? Dahil sa kasakiman. Na-apekto ka na yung mga pagtutulak nila, pagbebenta nila ng droga. Ano ang nangyari ngayon? 14 na buhay na wala. Sama natin, ang mga kaluluwa nila, Mercy Basilisco, Eufemia Biscocho, SPO1J Adremesin. Siya yung police officer na naka-assign sa Davao City Airport. Galing siya sa South Cotabato. Sa buhay ni Kyla Merecido. Nasahisa din siya dun sa site. She's a former OFW, single mother, who grew up in Santa Cruz, Davao. Single.
They want to have a picture.
Wala kang tatay yun.
Sorry.
Ako na lang sa tabi.
To say cheese. 1, 2, 3.
Ito tayo sa ba? Sabay sa tabi.
No. Bakit mo pa ako nakuha?
I'm on Facebook Live.
Direction.
Oh, dito ko sa harap.
I need to forward it.
It's like a comedy. I'm
No, it's good. It's good. Sorry, I've got my back here. Sorry. Sorry. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Malcolm.
I feel really fat.
Okay, ready?
Galing sa Davao.
1, 2, 3, go.
Para sa inyo.
I should be wearing this Filipino jacket. Yeah, but it's too hot.
Nawala na ng magmulang bahay dito. Para sa kaluluwa ni Rogelio Cagantas, galing sa Surigao del Sur. Para sa kaluluwa ni Melanie Faith Larida, kasama ang anak niya na si Josh Larida. Ngayon, nawalan na ng asawa, nawalan pa ng anak, dahil sa pagbomba. Tingnan niyo po kung paano pa mag-move forward.
Hi guys, so I'm here at the rally supporting President Duterte in his war on drugs in the Philippines. Just going to be speaking soon, and God bless the Philippines and President Duterte.
Pera. Putang inang pera. Sorry for the word. Pero putang ina din. Maraming para sa kaluluwa ni Cristel de Colong, which is his second year student, pharmacy student sa South Cotabato. Nag-aral. Pangarap ng magulang. Pangarap ng pamilya. Bumulan lahat. Dahil lang dito sa pangyayari na to. Para sa kaluluwa ang Salvador kung nag-aral ng college, 23 years old. Kasama niya yung
Wala ko
Lisa.
Pero may isang camera pa doon.
Lucky Wish to survive. Para sa kaluluwa ni Christian Denver Reyes, 36 years old. Ama. Kasama niya yung asawa niya na si Juana, na also nasugatan sa event, sa pagsabog. Para sa kaluluwa ni Evelyn Secretary, para sa kaluluwa ni Pipalawan Mamakua, she's Official Commission on Higher Education ARMM from Ethnic Iranon. She finished doctorate degree holder in Cotabato City State Polytechnic College. Para sa kaluluwa ni Maria Luz Arellano, para sa kaluluwa ni Christian Gail Bisnon, private duty nurse hospital, which is si Christian Gail Bisnon is nag-anak nag-upgrade mo yung sa'yo. Ayan mo si Atty. And then, those sa mga 66 na tao na ngayon. Pinadap pa rin. Pinadap pa rin. Pensioners Association, pensioner kasi dito sa UK. President ng Pensioner Association of Russell Square. Let's hear it from Tito Julie.
I didn't expect that you're so tall.
Ako si Julia Aquino, 83 years old na, at kami ang unang dumating dito sa mundo 1970s. Ngayon, ako ang presidente ng British Golden Ladies Association sa Russell Square. Kaya, nung President Duterte, nung bago election, ako na yung isa na 82 na nangumpanya dito sa London. At hanggang ngayon, ako pa rin ang nakasupport sa inyo. Kaya President Duterte, ipagpatuloy mo ang iyong gawain. Huwag matakot. Parang ikaunlad ng ating bayan. Salamat sa inyo.